What would you do if your child tugged your sleeve and whispered, "Daddy, can we help her?" In the middle of a dark street, where three dangerous men circled a woman, their eyes filled with violence, most people would freeze. But for a battle-scarred veteran, silence wasn't an option. He had no idea that the single act of courage that night would set off a chain of events, leading to something he never expected. 3 black Rolls-Royce cars pulling up outside his small home the very next day. James Walker, a single father and decorated Marine veteran, had built his life around 2 things: honor and his daughter, Emily. Life after service hadn't been easy. The war had left scars not only on his body but also deep in his soul. He worked double shifts at a warehouse, came home late, and often fell asleep at the dinner table. Yet Emily was his light. She was only 8, with eyes that mirrored her mother's warmth. Her mother, who had passed away during Emily's birth. That evening, after finishing another exhausting shift, James walked Emily home from a late-night diner. Emily held his rough hand with her tiny fingers, chatting about her school day, when suddenly she stopped. Her eyes widened as she pointed across the street. A young woman was cornered in an alley, 3 men circling her like wolves. Their voices were low but sharp, their intentions unmistakable. The woman's back pressed against the wall, fear dripping from her trembling body. "Daddy," Emily whispered, tugging his sleeve. Her voice cracked with innocence. "Daddy, can we help her?" James froze. The Marine inside him woke up instantly, instincts rushing back. He wasn't just a father anymore, he was a protector. Without hesitation, he looked into his daughter's eyes and gave a firm nod. "Stay right here, sweetheart. Don't move." He stepped forward. The attackers laughed when they noticed him. "Old man, keep walking," one sneered. But James didn't flinch. Years of combat had taught him one truth: fear belongs to those who prey on the weak. The first man lunged. James sidestepped and struck with precision. Quick, controlled, military, trained. The second tried to grab him, but James's elbow landed hard, sending him sprawling. The third pulled out a knife, but James moved faster, twisting the wrist and disarming him in one swift motion. The fight was brutal but short. Within moments, all 3 attackers lay groaning on the ground. The woman's tears flowed, not from fear anymore, but from relief. Emily ran to her father, clinging to his leg. James crouched down, looking her in the eyes. "You did the right thing, Emmy. You reminded me of who I am." The woman whispered, "Thank you, you saved my life." James only gave a tired smile. No one deserves to be left helpless. Go home safe. He didn't know her name. He didn't ask for thanks. He simply walked Emily home through the cold night, never realizing what fate had set into motion. The next morning, James sat at the kitchen table, sipping stale coffee, thinking about bills. His phone buzzed with late payment notices. He sighed and looked at Emily, happily humming as she buttered toast. For him, that smile was worth every sacrifice. Then came the sound. Low, powerful engines outside their modest house. James frowned and walked to the window. His jaw dropped. Not 1, not 2, but 3 black Rolls-Royce Phantoms parked in front of his cracked driveway. Doors opened, and sharply dressed men in suits stepped out. They weren't threatening, more like a security detail. Behind them, a woman emerged. It was her. The same woman from last night. Except now, she wasn't dressed in torn clothes. She wore elegance like a crown. Emily gasped. "Daddy, that's her." The woman approached, her voice steady but emotional. "Mr. Walker, I owe you more than my life." James shook his head. "You don't owe me anything. Anyone would have done the same." But she smiled knowingly. "No, James. Not everyone would have risked their life for a stranger. You see, I didn't tell you who I am." She introduced herself as Victoria Hale, the CEO of a global company, heiress to one of the largest fortunes in the country. The men with her were her private security. She had slipped away the night before to clear her mind, when the attackers found her. "I couldn't sleep last night," Victoria admitted. "I kept thinking of your bravery, and your daughter's heart. If she hadn't spoken up, maybe you would have walked away, but you didn't. You acted. And because of that I'm alive." She gestured to the cars. "I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in gratitude. These cars are not just symbols of wealth. They're a reminder that goodness deserves to be honored. One is for you. One is for your daughter's future. And one is for the veteran foundation you choose to support. James stood speechless. His hands shook. He had fought battles, carried comrades through war, and raised a daughter alone. But never had anyone honored him this way. Emily's tiny voice broke the silence. "Daddy, can we keep one of them?" The room burst into gentle laughter. James knelt beside her and whispered, "We'll keep what we need, sweetheart. And we'll share the rest." For the first time in years, tears rolled down James's face, not from pain, but from hope. Heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes, they wear worn boots and carry the weight of invisible battles. James Walker didn't help that woman for reward, recognition, or wealth. He did it because it was right. And in the end, kindness came back to him in a way he never imagined. So the next time life whispers, "Can we help?" listen. Because the act of courage you choose today might be the miracle that changes tomorrow.